I don't know about anybody else, but when I was in school, I didn't get to learn about Juneteenth. So I'd like to take a moment and educate those of you who don't know what Juneteenth is. I am looking at notes, so if I'm looking down, that's why. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed on January 1st, 1863, and on that day, all slaves were free. But sadly, not every slave knew, specifically in Texas. There was approximately 250,000 slaves that didn't know that they were free until 2.5 years later on June 19th, 1865. And in 42 states, this is recognized as a holiday or a partial holiday. And this is something that I would like to start celebrating instead of the 4th of July as an African American woman. And I just wanted to take the time to educate anybody who would like to know about it. So thank you.
Are you hungry to learn? Let's get this class started. Juneteenth. Have you ever heard of Juneteenth? Well, let me give you a little bit of history. We all know mostly that Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. If you didn't know, now you know. Now that mostly benefited slaves who were close to the Union line or territories that had already been conquered by Union forces. Now for the surrounding states where Union forces hadn't really made it down there yet, that was not the case. Let's speak about Texas. Texas was known as the safe haven. A lot of slave owners uprooted their lives and moved to Texas because Union forces hadn't made their way down there. It wasn't until 1865 that the slaves, over 250,000, realized that 2 years prior, they were supposed to already have been free. This is why we celebrate Juneteenth, June 19th.
So a lot of you are probably asking, what's Juneteenth? Well, let me break it down for you. Juneteenth is the oldest celebration honoring the end of slavery in the United States. June 19th, 1865 marks the day of news of emancipation and the Civil War's end, finally reaching the last group of slaves in America. Although the Emancipation Proclamation was issued on January 1st, 1863, it would take nearly 2.5 years for news to reach Texas, and even then, not all slaves were freed. The holiday received its name by combining June and 19. It's also known as Juneteenth, Independence Day, Freedom Day, and Emancipation Day. In 1980, Texas became the first state to recognize Juneteenth as a holiday. Juneteenth celebrates African American freedom and achievement, while also encouraging self-development and respect for all cultures.
Hey, stop scrolling for a sec. I got another important message. To every black person watching this video, do not, and I mean please do not, get sucked into celebrating July 4th this year, Independence Day. I know a lot of y'all are young on here, and I don't know what they got in your history books today, but we weren't taught the full truth when we were in school. We were not free July 4th, 1776. It wasn't until June 19th, 1865, also known as Juneteenth, that all slaves were free. Not even immediately following the Emancipation Proclamation, which was issued January 1st, 1863, which means it still took 2 more extra years for the last of the slaves that were here in Texas to be free. And the reason why I say free is because even that wasn't instant. Juneteenth should be our July 4th. There's no reason why it shouldn't be a national holiday at this point. So if you didn't know before, now you know. Don't allow the fireworks and the hot dogs and all that other stuff to distract you from the matter at hand. July 4th was not our Independence Day. Share this with your friends and keep this in your memory banks. I'm sorry y'all ain't being taught everything you need to learn in the classroom, but this is pure truth. July 4th is canceled.
Can we get into how black this Juneteenth is going to be? This Friday, June 19, 2020, I think will be, in the last 155 years of its existence, the blackest one that it has to be. This is our independence. June 19, 1865, Gordon General Granger would deliver a good message to Galveston, Texas, not to be construed with a good person. He delivered the message that the Civil War had been lost and that slavery had now been abolished. Unbeknownst to them, January 1st, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation and Abraham Lincoln, they never got that tidbit. They never got that, much like then and now. Yeah, just always the last ones to know. Either way, if you've never supported June 19th, that's fine. This is your first time. Have a good time. Turn up, wear your red, black, and green. Be in this thing and let them know, just like our ancestors, we'll beat your ass to stop playing.
Crazy how we've been celebrating 4th of July all these years, celebrating America's independence. Like, you would think that Juneteenth would be a national holiday in this country. Like, every other country that has had slaves has a celebration for the day that their slaves were freed. America doesn't do that. That's strange. Juneteenth is not a national holiday because we're not free. We were never freed. We were never freed, and we didn't even realize it. Stay woke.
So I'm a Texan. I grew up in Dallas, and growing up, every June 19th was Juneteenth. And I just remember, at church, like, that's when people go out, barbecue, music, food, drinks, dancing. And so basically, Juneteenth is the date, June 19th, 1865, when the slaves in Texas finally found out that they were free. 2 years plus some after the Emancipation Proclamation, companies are finally recognizing it as a holiday for workers. And I think for the first time in many parts of America, many non-Texans are realizing what this day is and really what it means for Black people's struggle to be free in this country.
I want to start by saying I am not easily impressed. But the past 2 days, seeing all these different nationalities and races coming together to protest for Black Lives Matter has definitely got my wheels spinning. Got me very happy and excited to see what's to come. Maybe we can finally see a change. Maybe. Or is this one of those clout chasing things? I don't want to see you guys posting that for likes. Just to get followers on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Don't use the matter just to do that. I want you to continue with what you started. You've been posting every day. I want to see that energy continue. Even if we don't see a change as a totality, I want to see this energy continue. Because if we keep it going, it maybe can end racism. Let's go.
Do y'all know about Black Wall Street? In 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood District, it was considered the most prosperous African-American community in the U.S., which is why it was called Black Wall Street. But on May 31st, all of that changed. So a Black man by the name of Dick Rowland was arrested because he was accused of attempting to rape a white woman named Sarah Page. Then the Tulsa Tribune published an article that sparked the confrontation between the white and the Black communities. On June 1st, the next day, the white community went into Black Wall Street and started looting, burning down businesses and business owners' homes. Historians believe that 300 people died, 800 people got injured, and 35 city blocks were destroyed. By 1940s, it did get rebuilt because of integration, but it never fully recovered after that attack. Black excellence did not end in Greenwood. Black Wall Street still exists today in digital form. You can go on their website or download the app to check out Black businesses around you.
Happy Juneteenth week, everybody. I know there's so much going on in the world right now. I know our country is at odds, but this week is ours. It's our 4th of July. Our Independence Day is Friday. And I know it doesn't feel like a big difference from 1866 to 2020, but for 150 years, Black people have come together to celebrate our accomplishments, celebrate our milestones, and just celebrate each other. So all week long, I'm just gonna be gassing my Black girls up because Black girls, we need some love. We really need some love right now. And all my Black men, I'm gonna root for y'all too. Don't do nothing crazy, but I'm cheering for y'all too. And for all my allies, y'all want to celebrate with us, y'all need to keep working for us. Don't stop the donating, don't stop the petition, don't stop raising awareness, but we can celebrate at the same time. So happy Juneteenth week.